Today we're going to talk about parallel lines. So hopefully you know this already, but let's just do a bit of a recap in case you don't. So parallel lines have the same slope. So if I've got a line that's doing this, and you're going to use a ruler and be way more awesome than me, but if I have a parallel line that looks like that, then if I have a line that looks like that, to have a parallel line, it has to have the same slope, right? So parallel lines never touch. So they're going to go on forever, side by side, and never actually touch. Now, you should be able to tell rise over run, right? So 1, 1, 1, 1. So the slope of this is 1, which means the slope of this is also 1. Up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1, right? Rise over run. The only difference is the y-intercept. One of them is higher than the other. So same thing, if I have, let's do a completely different line. So one that looks like that. If I want to create a parallel line, all I have to do is make sure it has the same slope. This goes down 1 over 2, so my slope for this one is -half, down 1 over 2. So I need to make sure that I've got the same thing. So let's say I want to make it go through the origin. I have to go down 1 over 2, down 1 over 2. So my line is going to look like this. All right, so we know what they look like. Let's talk about how we're going to find them. Whoops, wrong page. If we're just going to use equations, we're not going to bother drawing graphs. We don't like drawing graphs unless we have to, because they're a bit more time consuming. So what I want to do is just look at the slope. We know that y equals mx plus c, and we know that m is our slope. So all we're going to do is make sure the equations are in the right form and then check the slope. So for this one, it's already in the right form. The slope is 3. So I'm just going to rearrange this to see whether it has the same slope. So 2y equals 10 plus 6x. Then I need to get y by itself, so I'm going to divide everything by 2. Now usually we have this written the other way around, right? We put the x term first. I mean, you don't have to do this step, but just recognize that the slope is whatever number is in front of x. So the slope is 3. So these are parallel lines because they have the same slope. All right, let's do the same thing for this one here. So we have two different equations. So let's do number 1. So I'm going to rearrange it to get y by itself. This is a positive 12. This 9 becomes negative. I'm just putting it in the right order because we like this order. So then I have to divide everything by 3. So y equals -3x plus 4. So the slope of this one is -3. So let's do 2 and see what happens. So I have -5y equals -10x plus 20. This becomes negative when I bring it across. Don't forget to keep this negative sign with the 5. So then I'm going to divide everything by -5. So this divided by -5 is 2. Divided by -5 is -4. Do they have the same slope? They absolutely do not. This one is -3, this one is 2. So these are not parallel lines. All right, for this next one, you're going to have to create your own parallel equation. Now, this is a lot easier than it sounds. So all we're going to do is rearrange this to get y by itself. So the first thing I'm going to do is bring across the 4 as a multiplication. Then I'm going to bring across the x. So 2y equals -5x plus 12. Then I'm going to divide by 2. Now, we're going to end up with fractions, which is okay. We like fractions. They are fine. Plus 6. All right. So if the slope is -5/2, all I have to do is change the y-intercept. So a parallel line equation to this could be that. It could be this. It can be literally anything you want, as long as, whoops, what am I doing? I'm really bad at writing and speaking at the same time. This should be -5/2 x. So all you're doing is changing the y-intercept. As long as the slope is the same, you can do anything you want with this number. There are going to be heaps of different correct answers. All right, that's all we've got. You're just creating parallel lines, rearranging equations using your linear algebra skills, and recognizing that the same slope means lines are parallel. All right, good luck. Let me know if you want a hand.